What's up, everybody? Evening Hour Live, episode 60. Here we go. Let's do this. Oh yeah, here we go. Come on in, people. Happy Monday. Pretty good. All right, let's move this over. Vinyl. All right. I think that's a little Mozart action again. I can't stop. What's up, everybody? Cardone here. Evening Hour Live right here. We got people coming in. Come on in, people. Episode 60. Crazy. I can't believe I've done 60 of these. I think I've done... Behind the Devil's Curtain, I think I'm up to 9. Magic Method, 3 of them. Wow. And the other one, Boardgasm, I think I have 12. This one I have 60. Cheers, everybody. Happy Monday. Wow. Let's get everybody on in here. If you're new to the channel, hit that silly subscribe button. Trying to get to 1,000. I heard from a few people that once you get to 1,000... not only are you monetized, you go into a different algorithm, and you start to get more followers quick. Who knows? We'll find out when it happens. I can't wait to see. We're getting there. This week, I went up a lot. So, thank you. And to all the people that donate, grazie, grazie. Means a lot to me. So, come on in, grab a seat. I will say, if you're new to the show... you are going to see some crazy stuff going on in the chat. It might not make any sense. It sometimes doesn't make sense to me. But I will say, there are games that happen in the chat. Now, if you're in here, everybody has points values. Let's see here if people remember what to do. You put an exclamation point first. Let's see. And my moderator bot... which I will introduce to you now. That is him. That is Zalthon. Zalthon the Tyrant is my moderator. You know what? I don't see the moderator working right now. I'm curious. Can somebody do the iPoints thing? I'm curious if it's working today. I was trying to fix something. So, Zalthon is the name I'm giving my robot, so I don't have to keep calling him robot. Oh, here, Peter Benedetti's doing it. Let's see. Peter was a gambling freak with these points last week. I don't think it's working. Oh, yeah, it works. Yay. So, do you see where it says Streamlabs with the little wrench in the chat? Do you know how hard it is for me to change that to say Zalthon? I mean, I need to go to school for computer science to figure it out. Well, Peter has 246 points. Amanda, let me ask you a question. Amanda, did you redeem those points? I can't find where that happens in the computer. Please let me know. My computer tech is going to come over in the next few days and help me figure this out. But I think Amanda redeemed her points. All right, so if you put exclamation point and then the word points, it'll tell you how many points you have. So all the new people in here, try it. Once you figure out how many points you have, you can wager them. Anybody care to show them what you write? Don't forget when you wager the points, oh, Fallon's got a lot. You have to put a space. So it goes exclamation point, points, space, and then how many points you want to wager. And then it happens all by itself. Okay, Amanda, in Streamlabs, thank you so much for letting me know. I went in there and couldn't find where it, like, I should be getting a message for that, and I didn't. You know what? I'll bet I got a message on a different email. We'll see. Okay, yeah. I started putting the mystery box together, so as soon as I find out where it is in the Streamlabs, you get a mystery box. Compliments of me. And it's going to have lots of fun stuff. Don't worry. See? Peter Benedetti just lost 50 points. So. Oh, you don't have to play. Yeah, I'm just saying, if you want to. It's optional. And then every Friday, I do a giveaway, and I will be doing one this Friday. Last Friday, I wasn't here. Oh, thank you, Amanda. No, I like getting it out fast. I love giving prizes away. I feel like Bob Barker. So, if you're new and you see this going on, you'll see people in here playing. Wow, I got a lot to talk about. First, a couple shout-outs. Yes, so my moderator bot. I decided to name him Zalthon the Tyrant. It just came to me. I didn't have to think about it. Zalthon. It just... Uh-oh, where'd it go? There he is. So Zalthon, yeah, I call him the Tyrant because he isn't always friendly. And, yeah. So if there's any problems, we'll blame it on Zalthon. Okay. What was I going to say? Oh, big shout out. Tattoo parlor in Montreal. The tattoo parlor is called Arno Tattoo. I'm going to show you the business card. Oh, wait, what's going on with my camera? There we go. See this here? Arno Schultz. And if you look up Arno's... A-R-N-O-S, Arno's Tattoos on Facebook. Give that guy a follow. Way cool. Not only did he send me some stickers and some buttons, he sent me this. Oh my gosh. So the Jailhouse is a venue in Montreal. I guess, yeah, it was open in 88 and it closed in 01. And I was lucky enough to get to play there a few times. And Arno I didn't know I was in this book. One of our posters is in here. And Arno sent me this book. My gosh, thank you so much. I've been looking at it. There's so many great show posters in here. There's so much cool stuff. So many bands that I've either toured with or I was a fan of are in here. I'll show you. Toilet Boys, we played there in 98 and also in 99. And I'll show you. There's one of our show posters. They were large show posters, and I do have one somewhere. They're red, silk screened. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, it's an honor. I mean, really, I've said it before, but I mean, what my band got to do is, it's a true honor. I mean, we are on the CBGB's font. So if you buy a CBGB shower curtain, my band name's on there. We are on the steps of the El Macambo in Montreal. They have the steps that go up, and they put all the bands that they liked names on the steps, and we got on there. Wow. And now we're in this book. I mean, it's just flattering and awesome. And if I knew when I was in middle school I'd get to be included in that stuff, it would have probably choked me up, quite frankly. So, Arno, cheers. From New York City to Montreal, thank you so much. And I've always liked visiting that city. That's a great city. Good food, good sights, nice people. It's only 6 hours from NYC. You feel like you're in Europe. It's amazing. Thank you. What else? Oh, and now for a few things I picked up. I don't know if you guys like playing games, but Munchkin, new Munchkin cards. I don't know if you know what Munchkin is. It's a card game. I thought it was basically fluff. And when I first played it, I thought it was just kind of silly fun. But then I realized it's one of those games that if you play it a lot, it goes from silly, random fun to hardcore strategy. Not kidding. There's a strategy to that game. If you have kids, it's a great game. It's definitely nerdy. There are different versions of Munchkin. I like the ones that look like this. They're like in a brown package or a tan package. Munchkin regular. It's just like the regular one, not like the zombie one or the science fiction one. And I love this. It's one of my favorite games. But when I play it, I get really mean and nasty, which is kind of what the point of the game is. You are, you build this deck of cards that everybody draws from. And to me, the secret to that game is making a good deck. So, I picked that up. I also picked up these 2 books recently. Not that I need to read anymore. My brain is going to explode. But I got these 2 books. Now, this one here, Crates and Hipparchia, I had to get this because they're getting mentioned so much in the philosophy I've been reading. I had to get it. And same with Beyond Good and Evil. Friedrich Nietzsche, I've been wanting to read him my whole life. I know a lot about him, but I want to read the stuff at the source. And so I picked them up. They're both short reads. I'll bust through those pretty quick. The Nietzsche book, Beyond Good and Evil, I'll probably take my time and write essays and do notes on it because it is meaty. I mean, it seems to me he took what the Stoics did and then he added another layer. Even though he wasn't a fan of the Stoic stuff, he layered it. He added more depth. Crates and Hipparchia, they were a duo. They were a couple that were cynics. And Crates was the teacher of Zeno. And Zeno is the founder of Stoicism. So I wanted to read where the Stoic stuff, he's a direct source to the founder of Stoicism. I need to read his stuff. I don't think Crates wrote anything. It's what people wrote about him. So, Fallon. All right, Fallon, congrats. You just made it to 700 points. You can get a prize. Or you can try to get more. Cheers, Fallon. We got to hang out this weekend. I got to hang out with Fallon on Friday. I haven't seen Fallon. When's the last time we actually hung out or saw each other face to face? It's been a long time. Cheers. That was a blast. Foreigner. Who's Foreigner Israelite? Hi. Hi. Come on in. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We're just getting things ready. Another one. A dear friend of mine gave me a present. This was a very present weekend. I got this book. So a friend of mine has he runs a course, and I participated in it, and he gave me this book. Now, you're like, what the heck is this? Okay, I am a magic nerd. I've been reading magic books my whole life. On the other side of this camera, there are about 250 on a shelf. I'll take a picture of it. I can't move that camera, can I? This is so meta. Let me see if I can do this. Bam. Yeah, okay. And then I'll do this. And then I'll do this. And then I'll do that. See that bookshelf? That is all magic trick books right behind me. So, I need another one that's this thick. I don't know where I'm going to put it. This is the Complete Invocation. This is a compilation of a magazine, more of like a zine, like a photocopy kind of magazine, that came out in the early 70s, and I think it ran all the way through the 80s. And this is the complete series, all in one book. Sharky, what's up? We got so many good people in here tonight. And so this book is all of that. Now, what kind of a magic trick book is it? Well, it's a very specific type of magic called bizarre. And bizarre magic, it's not mind reading necessarily. It's not hypnosis. It's not straight up magic. It's very specific. It's magic that has an occult flair and a ritualistic, what's the word? It uses ritual and metaphor as in witchcraft, but in a magic show context. So imagine, this is kind of important. I'm going to give you a little history of this before we start because it's kind of neat. You see, up until the mid-1800s, magicians performing magicians, like street guy doing a show for a crowd, they dressed like wizards. They didn't wear a suit and tie. They wore like robes and funny hats, and they had a beard, They were like Merlin or something. And that was very popular. And along came a gentleman named Robert Houdin, Houdin. That was his last name, Robert Houdin. His full name is Jean-Eugene Robert Houdin. And Houdin is the guy that made it popular to come out like a distinguished modern gentleman. And he rented an apartment and did a fancy little magic show in France. And someone just won some points. And so he stepped away from this like wizard occult thing, and he's also the man that Houdini took his name from. Houdin is spelled Houdin, and Houdini added the I and made him Houdini. Houdini also wrote a book kind of crapping all over Robert Houdin's genius. Because, in my opinion, Robert Houdin is probably the most influential magician who ever lived. He did a lot for what it was. And so Houdini took the name, then wrote a book making fun of the guy, saying he wasn't that great, which is crazy. And then a other magician guy wrote a book against the Houdini book. It's pretty crazy. So Robert Houdin is the man who took it away from this. This is bringing it back. There was a bunch of like late 60s, early 70s guys that were really interested in kind of taking it to the occult again. And, it's still done with a flair of... It's like... It still comes off as a show. It's not like you're really trying to convince people with this kind of material. But I am going to slowly go through this. And look, a witch's spell. So instead of using playing cards, they use tarot cards. They're still doing tricks, And there's like really great art in here too. So the themes of these tricks and routining, and it's all over the place, of fantasy, occult stuff. And I guarantee you there's some mega gems in here. Because I know a lot of the contributors and what their material is. For the magicians watching, there's Max Maven stuff in here, Phil Goldstein. And the foreword was written by Eugene Berger. Masculine the Mage is in here. Carl Heron, all those guys. So, thank you. This is from Dr. Bob. Thank you, Dr. Bob. This means a lot to me. What else before we get into the meat? Peter, you finally won. See, it's not rigged. But, Peter Benedetti, who's in here, I'm a fan of his art. Check him out on Facebook, Instagram. If you're in here and you're new, look, Peter Benedetti, check him out on Instagram. He never wins the game with the points, but he's won 3 times the drawing that I do at the end of the week. And Peter, you haven't gotten that book yet, right? Which makes me... We're going to get you the book. I'm going to track that damn thing. Okay. Don't need this. Don't need this. And let's talk about the show. So, I didn't know what to do for this today. And the reason is, I had literally the busiest last 4 days that I've had in many, 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 many months. And I didn't have time to do a lot of prep. I mean, my brain yesterday was literally physically exhausted of thought. I didn't eat for a few days. I'm not kidding. I did not eat for a few days. I kind of forgot to eat, and I wasn't hungry. When I get really busy, I get like that. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to talk about the weekend and some nuanced, fun stuff that was a part of it all that you might find interesting. Yeah, right? What else is there? If anybody has any questions, fire away. This is a participation show. I'm in here because I got a chat going on and a bunch of cool people. So if you have something to say it in the thing. All good. Oh, we got people in the house. Come on in, people. So, all right, check it out. Friday was a witch holiday, a.k.a. Walpurgisnacht. I've been celebrating that holiday for a long time now. I think it's awesome to have a holiday in the spring that celebrates getting your stuff done, things growing, things moving forward, better weather. And I had a thought today about it a little bit. Like, people, and I say this all the time, people spend so much time making their bodies nice and their skin nice and their hair nice. And they put a lot of time and money and focus on those things. But nobody does the time on in here, what's going on inside the skull. They really don't. It's so rare. And I think when spring comes, everybody's focused on the summer. They want to have the beach body. They want to have, how many people tan early so they're already tan? It's crazy, but it happens. And I'm like, you know what? Every year, I start to get busy now with private gigs because it's spring. And I am. I'll talk about that tonight. My business is coming back now. I was going to say something and I forgot, but that's okay. So, everything's coming back. I get busy in the spring, and like that, summer shows up. And when summer shows up in Rockaway Beach, it's a 3-month party. 3 months. There's things going on. There's music on the boardwalk. There's guests in and out. There's sand all over the house. The weather's good, so it's just everybody that knows me, then they want to come visit me. Why? Because I'm at the beach. Great. I'm not complaining. I'm saying this is when it all happens. So once summer hits, it's like a whirlwind. And I'm doing shows, and I'm doing this, and it's just like, blah. And I neglect focusing on me, in the inside stuff. And this year, my Walpurgisnacht resolution, it's not a resolution, it's my focal point, is to turn it up to 12. That's it. Not 11. I'm going to turn it up one more notch. I'm a fan of the notion of when things are working right, go a little harder. Push it a little harder because the street's greased. So let's move it a little faster now. I think it can. And yes, Rockaway Beach. Yep, right here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to work even harder. I want to read more. I want to write more essays. I want to work on the book I'm writing more. I'm pushing it harder. Why? Because I can. Why not? I was talking to a friend the other day about amor fati. Give me amor fati, the Stoic saying, love your fate. And Mama's in the house. What's up, Mama? And love your fate simply means when stuff's hard and not working right, that's good. That means you're now being put to the test. And amor fati is, give me more. I can take it. So I'm going to work harder. And so this morning, I got my doctor's report. I go to the doctor, my annual checkup, and they check my blood. And I have a lot of guys that get prostate cancer in my family, so they check me. I pay attention to that. And I'm always getting that PSA number in the blood, and, I'm checking it out. And the doctor was like, everything's great. My sugar was a little high. I've been slipping on the sweet stuff, and I'm actually drinking a really sweet apple thing right now. So, Fallon says summer. I'm planning for fall now. And so my sugar number was up a little bit, and everything else was great. My cholesterol, yes, I've got it under control. No drugs. They tried to put me on the cholesterol drugs like that. I said, no, I'm not doing that. I do the fish oil supplement. I eat a lot of sardines. I eat a lot of avocados. I've been eating pretty darn healthy. So the doctor report was good. So that's it. I'm cool. I don't have to focus on physical stuff. I just do what I'm doing, keep it moving, but I do need to put my efforts up a little more. I want to turn them up a little more. Oh, we got some people in here. Buzzbomb NC, what's up? If you're new, hit that subscribe button. I'm telling you, I got cool stuff ahead. Speaking of that, I have a few guests that I'm getting ready to have on the show. Maybe one of them soon, like next week, that I can't wait to tell you who they are. It's going to be cool. You're going to have a ton of questions. Let me see if they got back. I just sent one of them a message today. I was just trying to lock in some actual times. Yeah, they both agreed to it. I just have to figure out the time. One of them's a variety artist that's really well known. And the other one is an actor that the name is not well known, but the things they do are definitely well known. Like, super duper. Like, you're going to be like, wow. You won't recognize the guy's name right away, but yeah. So, hey, Clownvis sent you. Well, cheers. Clownvis rules. Clownvis is a great dude. I can't wait to hang with him again. So, yeah, so we had a witch holiday, and a bunch of us gathered around to honor another witchy person. And it was a beautiful, beautiful occasion. I don't celebrate all holidays like most people would. I do Christmas. I kind of do a New Year's thing. Halloween, I will say, I don't really celebrate, which comes to a shock to a lot of people. And it's because I celebrate Halloween every day, but I work usually every Halloween. So my Halloween's in the spring, and I prefer it that way. So while I'm like doing my things, this weekend was a very busy weekend. I performed at the Slipper Room, which is probably one of my favorite nightclubs. And I haven't performed there for a year since everything closed. And it opened up Friday night. So how the Slipper Room works, it's a burlesque variety house. So meaning it's a burlesque show with variety artists, and there's aerial, there's jugglers, there's acrobats, there's clowning, there's magicians. It's everything. And there's a lot of burlesque. So then I started performing there in 2002. I kid you not. 2002! Oh my God. And so it's an honor to still be there doing my thing. And Friday night they open, and I was a little nervous at the protocol because it's a little different. In the old days, you paid to get in. There's no drink minimum, and you could sit down in the front. There were a couple cocktail tables, and then the rest is standing room, and then there's a balcony. Now, it's just cocktail tables. No standing room. You know, they're distanced. And the performers are on the stage. No mask for the performer on stage because we're pretty far away. So I'm getting good at doing the mask on and off bit with people. And, you know, if someone comes up on stage, you put the mask, that whole bit. People that are been performing know what to do. So that was kind of cool. But what I was nervous was, what's the energy going to be? Because when people are sitting farther apart, they don't have the herd energy. And that's why performing in large venues is kind of neat, because you can kind of conduct the crowd. They kind of work together. Like people think performing for children is hard, which it is, because they're honest. But if you're doing an auditorium of 900 kids, you can rope them all together you can control them as a unit of sorts. Yes. Slipper Room. Best size venue, stage to audience sized area. Yes, Fallon. I agree. It's not a giant venue. It's beautiful though. And the ceilings are really high where the stage is for the aerial act. So I can't explain it. You have to come to New York City and see the place. It's very special. I've been performing there now for 19 years. I can't believe it. And I don't do a lot. Like when it's busy, I'll do 3 times a month, maybe 4, maybe 2, maybe 1. It depends. I never know. It's whatever the scheduling is or how busy I am. But it's open, and I got to perform there on Saturday, and it was a pure joy. The audience was fantastic. It was just great. I got to see a lot of performers I haven't seen in a while. I got to my act is the same one. I didn't try anything new. But it is a venue I might try some new stuff out. Once you're in the cast, the reason why I like the guy that books there, James, who's the owner, and he books, and he's in the show. You know, he's a comedian in the show. He's an MC. The reason why I like him is he trusts the artist. He never asks me what I'm going to do. He trusts my judgment. And to me, that's special. He doesn't breathe down my neck. I'm respectful. I don't go too long on stage, you know. But he really, he doesn't breathe down my neck. He doesn't breathe down anybody's neck. And he lets you do your thing. So, cheers to the Slipper Room. Very grateful to be able to do that. Also on Saturday, I did a bar mitzvah. If you are a magician, you have performed at a bar mitzvah before. I've done lots of them. There are magicians that focus on just the bar mitzvah market. I do not do that. I don't focus on any market, which I've been told is bad for business. And it may be, but I wouldn't want it any other way. I get to do everything. Most of these guys do one thing. I do it all. So the bar mitzvah scene, for those of you, I'm sure everybody here knows what a bar mitzvah is. It is the coming of age party for Jewish kids when they turn 13. There's bar mitzvahs and bat mitzvahs. Someone told me bat mitzvahs are new. They used to not have them. They started doing them after some of the women's rights stuff came about. You know, it wasn't a big deal for girls to have that party. Now they do. And everybody does a bar mitzvah. If you're a non-religious Jewish person, they still have bar mitzvahs. And I have performed at super duper non-religious bar mitzvahs, conservative Jewish, Reform Jew, and lots of Orthodox bar mitzvahs. And I get a lot of Orthodox Jewish shows for a few reasons. One, I'm not Jewish. It's kind of funny. You can't work at a Jewish temple if you're Jewish. Well, you can, but you can't be doing anything normal. So if you're an Orthodox Jewish temple, you have to hire non-Jewish people to kind of run the temple, because Saturday you need the Shabbat goy, the Sabbath goy, to like help out, because you can't do it. I'm that guy. I'm not Jewish, so I can work. And I also have a kosher magic show. That's right. What's a kosher magic show? Anybody know? I'm sure we have 1-2 Jewish guys in here. Come on. Nobody knows? Dan, what's up, Dan? Late to the party? Come on in. So here you go. Here's what's not in a kosher magic show. So when I perform on a holiday, I can't write anything, which cuts out half my walk-around material. You can't tear anything. You can't cut anything. You can't light a lighter. You can't touch coins. You can't touch bills. You can use no electronics, no music, no ringing of bells, which I found out the hard way once. I'm forgetting a few. Let me think. I'm missing a couple. Well, basically, it's the hardest thing in the world to do a magic show without any of those things. It really is. And to do that, how I got good at this, this is another reason why they hire me, is I'm ready to go. I know exactly what to do. I work for a really great group of Jewish folk, Park East Synagogue. I don't know if anybody's watching. The people that run that place are sweethearts, and they have been hiring me for 15 years. They have a holiday called Sukkot. I have heard so many different pronunciations. S-U-K-O-T, Sukkot, or Sukkah. I've heard it pronounced a billion ways. So, it's a holiday that's a whole week where they eat outside. And some of the temples do a dinner outdoors every night. Some people just eat in their porch. And it represents the Jewish guys in the desert after they left Egypt, which actually never really happened. Anywho, it's part of their tradition. It's a cool holiday. It's like Thanksgiving 5 nights in a row. And they hire me to do 4 of those nights. 4! Same crowd, all kosher. Magic tricks. So I have to do 4 different shows following all of those rules, and I've been doing it for 15 years. Yes, you eat in a little house. Correct, Amanda. Amanda, you're from Brooklyn. You know what this is. So I had to come up with tricks that fit all the rules. I have lists of them. I used to sit and write it out. Like, I can do this trick, that one won't work. And then I figured out ways to do ones where normally I would write down, something. And I figured out how to do it without writing. So it's possible, but not easy. So Saturday I had a bar mitzvah. They're 13-year-old kids. Sometimes there's a lot of kids and not so much on the adults. And sometimes there's barely any kids. It's 1 or 2 kids and a lot of adults. You never know what you're going to get. And I would say most of the time I get hired to do what's called cocktail hour. So after the service, the religious service, they come into the banquet hall, and I'm just the dude there as people are coming in, getting situated, having a drink. So for an hour, I do mingle magic. Very rare I do a show at a bar mitzvah. Why? It's like doing a show at a wedding. The show is the bride and the groom. The show at a bar mitzvah is the rabbi, he's the wizard, and the bar mitzvah boy. That's the show. I'm just like the supplement. So I did one on Saturday, and it was great. It was mostly adults. They're Russian Orthodox Jewish people, which are, I'm going to be honest, they're a hard audience. They're one of the toughest audiences. They're super skeptical. And I think Russian guys are skeptical because of their history. Their background, their history comes from where a government's kind of scamming everybody and people are kind of mistrustful. So if you walk up to a Russian guy with a trick, they're like, you can't trick me. I can trick you, though. Like, there's a game at foot. It's like playing a chess match. So it took me years to figure out how to perform for that. There's a way. See, this is why I'm always talking about magicians starting to learn things normal people might not learn because of the nature of our job. And it's kind of fascinating, because I did the bar mitzvah crowd, Russian Orthodox Jewish guys, and I performed for the rabbis and the cantor too, which I'll talk about in a second. And then I went to the slipper room to a nightclub crowd. 2 completely different audiences, 2 completely different styles of how I'm going to fool the audience. Are using my skills to fool the audience. I have a different tonality. Yes, no, things are getting better. Yeah, I mean, they're still following the rule. Everybody's doing their part following the rules. Hey, Alec Arbor. What's up, brother? Nice to see you too this weekend. So I'm learning it's almost like an ongoing experiment. Because, like, for instance, the bar mitzvah gig this week, it's a banquet hall. So I go table to table to table to table to table. And I get to repeat the same tricks a lot to each table and gauge their experience. So imagine doing that for 35, 40 years. You start to learn how people react to things. There's formulas. You start to learn what types of people react to certain things. Whether they're a guy, a girl, a little kid, an old guy, a young guy, a Russian guy. The boss of the temple as opposed to just a member. They're all different vibes. And the magician has to approach it a certain way. I always use surfing as an analogy because when the wave's coming at you surfing, there's a billion calculations you got to make. Where you're going to be in the wave, where you're paddling, everything, where people are situated in the water so you don't crash. You got to calculate it in a second. The only way to do that's from repetitive nature. Just doing it over and over so you're like, I got it. So this time, I've done this temple 15 years. Normally, I'm hired to do events for the temple. When I did the bar mitzvah, it was for a specific family at the temple. And that Jewish temple, one of the members is Dr. Ruth Vestheimer. I kid you not. I've done shows and she's present, and I'm like, oh my God, it's Dr. Ruth. She's this tall. And Houdini used to go to that. That was his Jewish temple. So it's kind of an honor to perform there. So they've seen me a billion times, but I have never got to do close-up magic for the rabbi and the cantor. And Saturday I did. They were like, hey, come here. And the rabbi and the cantor at this Orthodox. So when I say Orthodox, a lot of people think the guys with the curls and the funny hats, right? So when I do these temples, most of the congregates dress normal, but the men do wear yarmulkes. And the women definitely wear skirts, down past the knees. But the rabbi and a lot of the people that work there, they have the interesting outfits and the crazy hats and the curls and the whole outfits. So it's kind of a hybrid of Orthodox. If you go to Hasidim, they all have the outfits, okay? And I've worked for them too. Oh, I've got crazy stories. I could tell stories forever about these private parties. So the rabbi and the cantor were like, come on over. And I was like, ooh, this is going to be fun. And I got to do magic for them, and it was great. I figured out how to perform for those kind of guys, because they're definitely skeptical. They don't like to be fooled. How do you get someone to stop being skeptical? Anybody know? If you show up to somebody and they're immediately like really skeptical and like, I don't believe in magic. I hate magic. You can't fool me. I have to deal with that sometimes. Sometimes you can't perform for those people. Their ego is so bad that they will not allow themselves to be fooled. So if you do fool them, they will lie and tell people they know how it works and make up how it works. They'll just make it up. When I first experienced that, I was shocked. I was like, wow. That guy literally can't handle being fooled and invented the method and will stick to that for the rest of his life, even though he's completely wrong. It's sad when I see it. I'm like, wow, that is a crazy ego thing. I've had a couple times people get violent with me, where I do a trick and they violently grab the cards and you're like, whoa, dude, calm down. So that was my Saturday, and I was exhausted. I haven't had a double header like that in a while, and it was definitely exhaustive. I couldn't. I wasn't hungry. When I get busy, I'm not hungry, and the only thing I do crave is like Coca-Cola. Ask them to come up and do the trick, says Dan P. Well, okay. Yes and no. So when you're dealing with people that are super skeptical, you don't give them any power. You can't, because they'll go out of the way to mess it up. So that's usually a no-no. Yeah, well, that's what happens with, it's interesting. Certain groups are like that. It depends their cultural background. People from the Caribbean think magic tricks are voodoo. And it's funny, 99% of the magic community is like, that's stupid. It's not voodoo. How dare you call my magic voodoo? But guess what? It is voodoo, in my opinion. It all comes from the same source. So indeed, they're right. I love agreeing with the enemy sometimes. You're like, you're right. When people go like, Dungeons and Dragons will lead you to the occult. Well, it kind of did for me. So, yeah, they were right. So, anywho. Wait, let me see here. Dan P. Dated magicians, which we were driving down the road. And she... It's called Being Entertained, Not Fooled. Ugh, scary. Yeah, it is kind of scary. It has to do with your cultural background and how you were raised, what a magician is, the archetype of a magician. The other thing in Russia is, I don't know how famous Rasputin is, but I always thought, is he really famous? Because if he is, he's a wizard of sorts, a Svengali that had a bad end. He kind of brainwashed a royal family. So maybe that's another reason why they're skeptical of magicians. I think a lot of countries that come from like oppressive government systems, their trust factors are a little askew, you know? And a lot of those countries, after the communist stuff's gone, it gets taken over by gangster types. And it kind of goes back to that system in another costume. So I can see, that's the thing. Once you understand where this stuff comes from, it's no longer offensive to you. At least it's not to me. Like once I figured out, like, oh, here's an example. So I asked the question, how do you take a skeptic and make them interested in magic? Well, this is what I do. This is a little secret if anybody magic's watching. I make it look like I understand they're too smart to be fooled. Like, oh, I'm not going to fool you with my magic. So I'm just going to show you kind of what I'm going to, like, how these things work. I'm going to show off how good I am at sleight of hand and let you in on it. And that's going to be the show. So once I establish that, then I can fool them. So I take them down a path of, I play into their silliness of their ego, you know, being like, I need to figure this out, not I want to be entertained. I play there. I go that way. I follow them. I go, oh, yeah, I'm not going to fool you. You're clearly smarter than everybody else. So, and literally, once they are on the train of, yeah, look, and that's why if you watch me perform a lot, I'll do little bits where I show them certain things, but then I use it against them. I take them down a path, and then I use it against them. I do the same thing when I meet young magicians at shows. They'll act like they know what they're doing, and I'll go, oh, you know your stuff? And I have material designed to fool them. Yes, that's it. Yeah, that's it. You got to befriend. You have to get them to like you. That's the real answer. How do you get them to like you? You're like, yo, I'm going to let you in on something. You know? So, yeah, that's literally it. They also believe Jesus was actually a magician. He's able to perform miracles because he stole some magic word from a temple. Yeah. Yeah, there's some funny stuff. Here's the weird one. I've had to do this at a couple magic shows. More than a couple. The Lubavitch is a sect of Judaism. They're their own little group, the Lubavitch. And they hire me. And sometimes they make me announce before my show starts that my magic's not real. And sometimes they make me teach a trick. You know, like, all right, folks, magic's not real. See, look, I can do this or this, but it's actually my fingers do it, you know. The first time I had to do it, I was like, ugh, that's icky. But again, it helps the magic. Because I'm like, look, again, it's the same thing. I'm going to show you how it works. And then once you do, they relax. A little clue about misdirection. Misdirection in magic or advertising or politics or psychological warfare or whatever you want to call it. Misdirection is technically should be called direction. You're not misdirecting them. No, you're just directing them to where you want them to be so that you can do something else. And I have figured out so many subtle ways to do it where when you can get someone's brain to do something, it literally shuts off for a second. If you can get somebody to laugh, think about something, count a number, their brain, they'll literally look up too. They'll go like, or off to the side. It really is an interesting thing. And I've been studying it my whole life. And it's something it's hard to give a lesson on. But humor's a good one. If you can get someone to chuckle at something, but it has to be a real laugh. It can't be a forced laugh. That's why I hate most comedy. It doesn't get a belly laugh, it gets a forced laugh. Ha ha! I get your joke. It doesn't get you spitting your food out, you know? So, if you can get a nice real laugh, there's a good 1 full second of misdirection. If you're like, it's just gone. You're like, it's off. So, studying all these different types of shows, you start to learn. Another little thing about magic people don't know. You see how you're looking at me right now? And if I'm hiding something in my hand, I can just go down here and ditch it below the camera. Even if there's not a camera and you're standing in front of me, it's the same. You have a field of vision, and this down here is not in it. When you're on stage and I'm standing up here, your field of vision is you see my whole body. So if I'm doing something funny with this hand, you can see it. So the misdirection has to change. The first time I performed for a non-English speaking crowd, I had an all Chinese crowd. Oh my God, I just had a flashback for a show. I just remembered a show I did that I forgot about. Okay, I'm going to tell a story. I'm going to tell a gig story. You're going to like this. Oh, we got time. So I'm going to finish this thought, and then I'm going to tell this thought. So the first time I performed for an all-Chinese crowd, I realized my joke thing that I just said ain't going to work because they're not going to laugh at my joke because they don't know what I'm saying. So now I can't say a funny line, and they can't like, aha, and I do something. So now you're straight up sleight of hand and pantomime. Pantomime meaning you get them to hold something, and then you tell the audience to watch. Now you're using a different technique. And not easy. Great story. A friend of mine called me, and they were like, I got a gig I can't do, it's perfect for you. And I was like, all right. And I'm trying to remember the details now because for some reason I kind of forgot it and just remembered it now. And it's like, wow. I remember the money wasn't that great, and they only wanted I think I was booked to do a 10-minute act on a stage for like 50 people. 100 people. Corporate crowdish. But the pay was okay, but it could have been way better. But they wanted me to get there 3 hours early. I was like, no. Not for that money. If you want me for that, you got to pay the full rate now because this is a whole nother. This is like if I have to fly to another state. It's like that. There's a rate for that because you have to have me for way long. No, we don't need that. But can you come an hour early? Yeah, I mean, I normally do that anyways. And I was told lots of Chinese people. It was in Queens in a big catering hall. So I get there early, and there's a red carpet out front. And the venue, it's not a 100-person venue. It's more like a 500 to 1,000-person venue. Massive catered event. Huge stage, video screens, full setup for like an arena show, and a red carpet. And I'm like, wait, what's going on here? I thought this was like it was supposed to be like doctors and a lot of people from China, a lot of Chinese medical workers is what I was told. Well, yes, it was for a hospital. It was mostly doctors. And I was the opening act for Miss Hong Kong, who is a pop star. Now, the person that booked me was a magician, and I know for a fact they didn't do it, I think, because they knew they weren't going to do a good job. And they were nervous, and the money was low. And they didn't tell me any of those things. Because I would have charged more money. Clearly. I would have at least doubled my rate, even though it was a short set. Because I was like, whoa, now I know why they wanted me here 4 hours early. Because of the mics and the thing and the video screens and the... I was mad. I was like, no one told me this. And I ask a lot of questions when I book shows. Nope. So, Shirley Yueng, I think was her name. Shirley Yueng. Y-U-E-N-G. And I did the gig. It was a fantastic crowd. I mean, I got to do my act in front of a very large venue, which I always like doing. Yeah, there was probably 500 to 900 people there. But it seems bigger because they're at banquet tables. Whenever you have 500 people in a theater, that's an auditorium, like at a high school. When you have 500 people at a banquet hall, holy moly, the places, they're giant. And I like doing those gigs. Again, it's a different gig. It's different. The subtle misdirections, not the same. To capture their attention and hold it's different. The techniques are different. I like not using a microphone in small venues or even middle-sized venues or big venues. But when it's that big, you have to. You're a postage stamp, from far away. And they've got speakers and the video screen. So you got to do stuff that looks cool. Yeah, well, that's it. That's right, Amanda. A lot of times that happens. They don't tell you what the actual show is. I'm trying to think if I've ever had that happen before. Well, I have it happen with celebrity gigs. I don't know it's a celebrity, but a lot of those, not until I get there, a lot of those are from an agency, so I'm already paid a rate of sorts that's good for that. But yeah, sometimes I don't know until I get there. I've gotten to somewhere when they answer the door, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's you. I know you. That's kind of fun. People are winning. Yeah, the Torah has magic tricks in it. It also says, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Yeah, it says to kill witches in the Old Testament. Yeah, it's funny. When monotheism, I said this last week, when monotheism showed up, divination stuff, if it's working, it's not coming from God. It's coming from something bad. That's why witches, divination, magic, bad. God's magic, cool. That's the whole point, yeah. What else, folks? I don't want to miss anything today. Yeah. Oh, hold on. Let me check my email. I want to see if they got back to me. Nope, not yet. Let me see here. Let me know. I'm messaging one of these people now. Next week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday is open. All right, so here we go. Let's see. I might be able to lock in one of these guys now. Anybody have any questions tonight? Anybody have any if anybody ever has questions about variety show stuff, please ask, because I talk about the variety show business a lot, and a lot of these guests that I'm bringing in here are variety artists. Oh, here we go. My first guest was Stuart Palm, the artist, who is doing my our deck of cards. But he's also a variety artist. He is a mentalist and a hypnotist. And my second guest, he's also a variety artist. He's a comedian juggler, Marcus Monroe. And my third guest and my fourth guest, yeah, I don't want to tell you who it is yet, but I'm excited. Both of them I'm very good friends with. Okay. Yeah, I can't get them yet. But yeah, when I'm friends with these guys, it's like when I'm hanging out with them online here talking, it's cool, but I do have questions for them because I never ask them these questions when we're hanging out. How'd you get started? What's your favorite thing to do? When we're backstage and stuff, we don't talk about that all the time. Yeah, isn't that wild? I mean, I have lots of celebrity friends that I don't ask them those questions because we're talking about other things. Most people I like and get along with, I talk philosophy, life. Dr. Ruth, that would be sweet. No, that would be... I don't know her. I've met her. And the first time I realized it was her, she must be 90 years old. I was like, oh my God, it's Dr. Ruth Vestheimer. People don't realize this, but she was a sniper in the Israeli army. They used to use small women to do that job because they're perfect for it. Steady-handed, small hand, focused. That was Dr. Ruth. And then she became a world-famous sex doctor. Anybody ever watch her show? When I was little, I used to watch it. Dr. Ruth. Wow. Wonder what she does for fun now. I don't know. Well, she goes to the temple that I work at, and every time I've seen her, it's like I'm tickled. She's like a cartoon character. She's literally like really small. Wow. That's a funny question. Nope, he didn't get back yet. It's okay. Well, by Wednesday, I'll know. So Wednesday's show, I haven't decided yet. I have some ideas. I'm waiting for a game from Goblinko called Dungeon Breakout, and I'm going to do a show on that. Yeah, she was a sniper. Yeah, Fallon. Yes, she was a very popular talk show guest. I remember her on David Letterman. I remember her on all those shows. I think she was on Johnny Carson. She was a major celebrity in the 80s. And a cool one, too. You know, a tiny little lady she's a sex doctor on a national TV show. That's cool. That's rare. We don't even have that now. Do we? Is there a national show like that? I don't think so. I swear to God, we've gotten more conservative over the years. Way more. Way more conservative. Which is weird, because for what I see it, the conservative nature of that isn't coming from where you would think it is. It's coming more from the liberal side of things, which is weird for me. I don't quite understand it. Yeah. Very crazy. If you're of age, yeah, Israel takes you in the army. Yeah, they don't care. All is good. Well, I mean, it's like that here now, finally. They'll take it. It's like, let's go. You're going to join the military? We take it. We take everybody. That's how it should be, right? Yeah, obviously. All right, folks. It is 9:04. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Dan, you got it, man. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to bust out of here. It's Monday. Monday's my favorite day of the week. I hope it is for everybody. I wake up on Monday like this. My alarm goes off and I go, click, let's do the work. I mean, I just jump out of bed and start. I make the bed, I do the thing, I sit down, I make my plan for the week, and Mondays are cool, man. If you can get your brain to go, I like Mondays, the whole week's great. It really is. A lot of people, their brains have gone the other way. Great question, Fallon. I'm going to read it. Have you ever seen someone use their time on stage to take a personal snipe at another performer? Yes. I might have done it myself, but yes. I'll tell the story. We're going to end on this. Great question, Fallon. It's a pleasure you're in these shows. I really am grateful that you're one of my viewers here, because so 2001 or 2, the first Sword Swallower convention, Wilkes-Barre, PA. It's called the Sideshow Gathering, and it was a kind of the world's only like sideshow convention. And that one, that 02 or 01, I don't know what year, I can figure it out. That was the first one that was like a Sword Swallower convention too. And a really well-known sword swallower named Natasha Varuchka, who worked at the Blue Angel, Les Scandelle, and did up until recently, until they stopped it. She's a fantastic sword swallower. She has the most world records, and her showmanship is fantastic. I mean, she's one of the best sideshow performer, variety artists I've ever worked with. She really is great. And her sword swallowing world records are shocking. Anyway, she asked me and a friend to be her opening act at the sideshow convention. Meanwhile, we already knew everybody there, a lot of people there, so it was like, oh great, this is going to be great. So we went and did the show, and I never got to really meet Johnny Fox. and see his act, and he was going to be there. And he got on stage, and I was shocked because he was doing coin magic. He started off by doing coin stuff. And it was good. I was like, wow, he's good. And while he was doing his show, there was somebody in the audience that he didn't like, who he claimed, and he did, the guy stole stuff from his show. And while he's up there doing the act, he was calling him out right on stage. He was like, yeah. He goes, this is a bit I've been doing for years until somebody stole it from me. You know, he was like kind of mentioning it. I was just like, wow, does that guy realize he's digging at him? And it made me like the performer even more. I was like, wow, he's got balls. Wow. And from that moment on, we became friends. And I have deep respect for Johnny Fox. He passed away a few years ago, and he's one of the coolest dudes I ever knew. One of the best performers, one of the smartest performers, colorful human being, a sideshow historian, collector. He had a dime museum in the Lower East Side, and I will tattoo his name on my arm at some point. I think right here. I'm going to put a sword. Remember the Fox. Remember Johnny Fox. I don't know what it's going to say. He was a living legend. Now he is a real legend. And if you want to look up videos, look up Johnny Fox. There's videos of him on YouTube, and they're pretty cool. Some of them are like TV appearances he did. Fantastic performer, funny, smart. He's a real wizard. And I knew it the day I met him. So yeah, he's one of them, Fallon. I have called out some people live. Maybe. Have I? Yes, I'm sure I have. But yeah, I have seen it. Amazing. Great question. Well, folks, it's Monday. I want to go eat a snack and have another soda and enjoy my Monday and start working on stuff for tomorrow. We got a great crowd in here. I got a lot of people in here. If you're new, hit that silly subscribe button. Hit the notify bell. Do that nonsense. It's working. My numbers are starting to go up. I can see it. Like recently, it's starting to move a little faster, which is great. People to donate, thank you. I get offline donations now. People just watch it late. That means a lot to me too. It goes right in the show. I'm in the process of getting an e-meter. I'm saving up for that. An e-meter is a gadget that Scientologists use. I want to get one and figure out how I can use it for a cool magic act. So, and we can I'm going to try some things with it. Yeah. Thank you, Cassandra and Corey and Amanda and Fallon and Peter and Sharky and whoever else. I think William's in here. Who else? Dan, Alec. Somebody had a cool name tonight I didn't know. Buzzbomb NC. I love it. Is that a Buzzbomb reference to the Dead Kennedy song? Because Buzzbomb, Macho Mobile. Thank you, William. Yeah. I had fun tonight. I like these kind of shows where I kind of just go. I didn't do much philosophy chat tonight, but I am really going to start going into the Nietzsche stuff. This is mind-bending stuff, folks. This stuff makes you really think about your stuff. I don't always agree with what I know about him in detail. Some stuff I don't agree with, but it does get me to question stuff. So be cool, stay healthy, work on up in here, and it's episode 60. And I thank each and every one of you for making this happen. It's not just me, it's you. And if I didn't have you, I wouldn't be here right now. No way. I like the live one. He loves Jell-O. Good one. Damn right, Buzzbomb. Oh, I know my DK. Dead Kennedys changed my life. If I have to map out art that has changed me in my core, or at least awaken me, not changed, but awaken, I put Dead Kennedys. In God We Trust and Plastic Surgery Disasters. Hands down. My favorite, if I have to pick 5 records of all time, I pick Plastic Surgery Disasters. Peeps, party on. My name is Cardone. This is episode 60. This is Evening Hour Live, and I'll be back on Wednesday. Let me see here one thing. Nope, not yet. I'm waiting for these guys to get back to me because I can't wait to announce it. All right, folks. You guys rule. I'm Cardone, and I'm out. Wait. Where's Zalthon says you guys were really good tonight. And thank you, William. Party on, Wayne. Where the heck is the button?